rounding out the senior day.
An emotional day, as always, on senior day. The Villanova transfer coming off those 36, second most ever by a Carolina opponent at the Smith Center. That was an overtime loss for the Orange, and now back at home against the Miami team, well on its way to the NCAA tournament and in a top 4 spot in the ACC. Miami in black, Cuse in white, and away we go. The starters for Miami, they play a 5-out. Sam Wardenberg, 21 in black, who turns it over there. He's the 5-man, and then the backcourt is excellent. Wong, we told you about, and then the veterans, a couple of 6th-year seniors in Charlie Moore and Kameron McGusty.
Good start with Syracuse defensively. Miami getting the ball where they wanted it in the middle, but the zone really good at making rotations, just like Miami is on defense here, attacking right off the bat on the ball screen.
See the Syracuse starters, Boeheim Sidibe making his first start in more than 460 days. His pass gets deflected.
Already in this possession, you can see Miami's gotten two deflections. Deflections lead to steals. Steals lead to easy layups. That's something that Miami's going to try to get a lot today.
Yeah, that's been a hallmark, Steve, of the way they have defended all season. What they lack in size, they make up for in trying to force you into turnovers, and they will scramble. And they're in a late shot clock scenario here, and Wong defended that well on Swider. Sidibe missed the putback. Jimmy Boeheim had it ripped away by Charlie Moore. Transition 3. Drops down for Isaiah Wong, coming off those 27 we told you about, a season high.
Looked just like the highlight we just watched against Boston College, so he's still feeling it.
Junior from New Jersey gets 15.5 per game, and he starts the scoring for Miami. Like Syracuse, one of the top 20 offenses in the country.
Miami doing a great job of switching each ball screen depending on who it is coming off. They play Girard different than they play Boeheim and Swider.
Jordan Miller helps rip it down to Isaiah Wong. 90 seconds in, Syracuse has come up empty offensively. Here's Charlie Moore, who had maybe his best game of the season the first time these teams met 2 months ago to the day. And he scores to make it 5-0 Miami against a shorthanded Syracuse team. We know all about Jesse Edwards, the starting 5-man, out for a 7th straight game, out for the year with the wrist injury. Torrance in concussion protocol, and Benny Williams, the blue chip freshman, now out for the rest of the year as well with a lower body injury. And Syracuse on the board with Buddy Boeheim.
Miami made a mistake defensively. You better be there with your hands up when Buddy catches the ball. Way too good of a look.
And here he is, back the other way with the first 5 for the Orange.
We got a horse race going, don't we? Back and forth. This is fun.
We thought it might be like this because it was 88-87 the first time they met. And that was a game where Miami trailed by as many as 18, but got that win back at home in Coral Gables.
Both these teams, their strengths and their weaknesses really play well with each other. Syracuse can knock down shots. Miami can get steals. Syracuse is better inside, really, with the height advantage that they have. So I think we're going to see a lot of that play out today as this game unfolds.
Wong comes up short. Girard the rebound. Boeheim kicks. Gets it back from Girard. Knocks it down. How about a fast start on senior day for Buddy Boeheim?
It all started with Buddy really giving up the 3, getting into the paint, kicking to Girard. Girard making the extra pass. That's great ball movement for Syracuse.
303 career triples in a Syracuse uniform now for Buddy Boeheim. Kameron McGusty, number 4 scorer in the ACC.
Good shot for Miami coming out of a paint touch with Charlie Moore getting into the paint off the penetration.
Swider picks up where he left off in Chapel Hill Monday.
Miami's just too late getting to the shooters right now. You've got to arrive with your hands high every time Syracuse catches, and right now they're lost.
3 threes for Syracuse. Jordan Miller scores to stop the run.
Good finish by Miller. He's going to have to score inside. Syracuse obviously has a bigger team, but that's what he does. He can score inside. He can stretch it from 3 as well.
He had a big game defensively in that first meeting. Buddy Boeheim misfires, and here's Kameron McGusty. Wardenberg knocked out of bounds by Boeheim. And it sends us to a timeout. Well, 8 points already from Buddy Boeheim, including a couple of triples. 2 of them for Buddy. Cole Swider with a 3 as well. Fast start for Syracuse at home on Senior Day. By 5-hour energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done. All the emotions on Senior Day for the Boeheim family in particular. 7 players in total honored. 5 of them working on graduate programs. 2 of them wrapping up their undergrad degrees here in the spring semester on a special day at the Carrier Dome. And in particular, of course, for the Boeheim family and a woman who has logged a lot of airtime this season in Julie Boeheim. And happy birthday to Julie Boeheim as well. And Steve Evans, you might have the best shirt in the entire building today. A Step Brothers themed shirt with both her sons on it.
She does, and I hope we get a good shot of it, because I'm curious if the boys ever ask Coach Boeheim, hey Dad, where are you going? It's Shark Week.
A family that is synonymous with Syracuse. Orange up by 4 minutes in, and a Miami turnover.
Great rotation by Jimmy, getting to the spots. I think, right now Miami's playing offense a little too slow. The rotations are there. They need to fake a pass and make the next one.
They force a Syracuse turnover, and they push ahead with some of that speed, and Charlie Moore had it roll off. Syracuse back quickly. Jimmy Boeheim off the bounce, right hand.
Jimmy is so ambidextrous with his game. He loves to go left, yet he shoots it with his right hand as a lefty. It's just an awkward person to guard, almost like that old man at the park that no one wants to play against.
Yeah, it's an industrious game. The Boeheims have combined for 10 of the Syracuse 13. You wondered if Miami would run some of its man offense against the Syracuse zone.
Sometimes you get stagnant just standing around. I think they wanted to get some movement and play in their comfort. When Miami's playing their man, they're moving the ball, getting it side, top, side. They get really efficient with their offense. I think Coach Larinaga wanted to come out today and just make sure they got some movement. Not necessarily the start that he wanted, but they still had some decent looks. Syracuse's defense just took them out.
Syracuse on this 13-2 run, but Swider turns it over.
We're seeing in both cases, Syracuse's defense is playing well, and Miami is true to form and forcing turnovers. These turnovers aren't the worst thing for Syracuse. They're going out of bounds. They're allowing Syracuse to set their 2-3 zone. The turnovers that absolutely kill Syracuse are the ones, the pick sixes that lead to breakaway layups.
And I know when you dig into the film on Syracuse, you've seen a lot of those around midcourt in particular.
And unfortunately, they come at bad times. And I think that has to do with the amount of time that Syracuse's players are logging on the floor.
Syracuse foul along the sideline on Boeheim. Year 11 for Jim Larinaga, who on Wednesday became Miami's all-time winningest coach in what has been an outstanding season for the Canes. 21-9 overall, 13-6 in the ACC, 4th best. Joe Lunardi right now has him as a 9 seed, and they've already clinched a double bye in next week's ACC tournament in Brooklyn.
Coach Larinaga, in talk with me yesterday, was a little concerned of, what team was going to come out. A team that knows they got the double bye, or a team that can play with urgency like they did against Syracuse when they fell behind early and had to fight back. Miami's got that fight, but I'm sure Coach Larinaga would rather have them come out and put Syracuse away early today.
Instead, down a half dozen and 1 of 5 from deep, and Jimmy Boeheim is fouled on the drive.
Great attack by Jimmy. Buddy's really getting mobbed when he gets into the paint. You'll see as he's starting to get in, Miami's doing a great job of taking away, but Jimmy on the kick out doesn't take the 3. He attacks the basket and he gets to the line. Great play by Jimmy and a nice feed by his brother.
One and only season at Syracuse for Jimmy Boeheim after starting his career, of course, at Cornell. Hey, today over on ESPN and the app, how about these 3 games on a huge day of college hoops? Last weekend of the regular season, of course, and at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, Number 6 Kansas, still with its sights set on a conference crown against number 21 Texas. Carolina Duke, Coach K's final game at Cameron, and then after UFC 272, we'll have number 16 USC, number 17 UCLA in a rematch out west, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Great day to get you ready for March Madness. A lot of great games to watch.
Wardenberg on a turnaround. He's a really skilled 5-man for Miami.
He does an awful lot. He's somewhat of a glue, the way Charlie Moore, you know, he's the one that makes them run, but Wardenberg does a great job of stretching and then also being able to finish inside.
Jimmy Boeheim driving on Anthony Walker. And here comes Charlie Moore. Springing into the front court. Rolled off again, and Sidibe clears it.
Active hands all over the place for Miami. Nothing is easy with Syracuse.
Sidibe walked the tightrope on the baseline. Gerard got McGusty in the air. And we go to the line for 2.
Well, Miami's got to keep pressure on Syracuse, but they can't let their aggressiveness make them over-help like they're doing at times.
Joe Girard at the stripe, an excellent free throw shooter. Junior who on Monday at Carolina, he sent that game into overtime.
Joe takes a lot of heat because of the turnover. People forget if he doesn't knock down that shot, there is no overtime. And if you look at his numbers, Joe is not a natural point guard. And for him to be able to do what he's doing for Syracuse, it's really a credit to him, the way that he can come out and play every day. Even though he gets scrutinized, he's still putting up really good numbers for Syracuse.
And his team is up by 8. Miami's trying to solve the zone and get some shots to go down, and that helps. From Cam McGusty, his first points on an average of 17.5 per game.
He can fill it up, and you know the thing about him is he does have that mid-range game that you just saw right there, but he's so shifty with the ball. All the 3 guards from Miami can attack and pull up as well.
Off a Buddy Boeheim miss. Here come the Canes. McGusty stayed patient, and he'll go to the line.
Syracuse got to get back in transition and get that zone set, make Miami take time on their possessions. This is a pace that favors Miami getting to the basket and getting easy plays and getting to the free throw line.
Kameron McGusty will be at the line for 2 shots.
Sixth-year senior from Katy, Texas, having the best year of his career.
Substitution to the game, number 2, Isaiah Wong for Miami.
4th leading scorer in the ACC, so the more, as a shooter and a scorer, you get to the line like this, you see the ball go through the net a couple times. He's just knocked down his last shot. That's how you can start to get into a rhythm. And I think with Miami, when you look at Charlie Moore as the point guard, he does a really good job of making sure that the right people are getting the ball. He's getting a break right now. Coach is talking to him, but hopefully from Miami's standpoint, he's going to find the right guy to get the ball to as this game continues to evolve.
Yeah, Jim Larinaga said to us earlier this week, he thinks without a doubt Charlie Moore's been the best point guard in the ACC. Well, about 8 minutes in at the Dome, and it's Syracuse by 4 over Miami.
Ever notice how
down, and they got the win despite Syracuse knocking down a school record 17 threes in that game.
Well, it was all there. Charlie Moore shooting shots from the logo made it difficult for Syracuse, but it really was a Jekyll and Hyde game. But the way Miami came back on Syracuse within the first 4 minutes of the second half, just incredible comeback, and that's something Miami's been doing all season long.
I told you Charlie Moore was so big in that game. 25 points, a season high, 6 threes, was shooting from any distance he wanted to, and he only turned it over once in that ball game as well.
Interesting lineup for Syracuse right now with Boljak in the game, with Sidibe picking up the second foul. Just not a lineup Syracuse is comfortable with, I'm sure. Yeah,
because John Boljak, who's got it here, and Frank Anselem both into the game. Remember, no Symir Torrance nor Benny Williams for the Orange. Buddy Boeheim had to get it off in time. Offensive rebound and a fresh 20. Jumper off the mark from John Boljak, but kept alive by Anselem. Gerard on the reload. Knocks it down.
Great activity on the boards for Syracuse. That three came from Frank Anselm's hustle, getting the offensive rebound and being smart enough to kick it back out.
This end, what do you want to see from Miami offensively?
Miami's got, well, they're going to get an alley-oop right here.
John Boeheim commits a foul on Isaiah Wong.
One of the best times to get a three is after an offensive rebound because the defense is in a scramble position. Frank Anselm kept it alive, and then Jimmy found the open man, and Joe using the shot fake to create space. Really good possession for Syracuse, using their size right now. You look at them out there compared to Miami. It's not the greatest lineup for Syracuse, but they have the size to be able to get on the boards.
And a smaller group out there for Miami right now. Long splits at the stripe. Now, second half of that first meeting, Miami came out applying full court pressure.
I think Coach L really wants to pick up the tempo with the defense. That's Miami's identity, and anytime they can make Syracuse work for 94 feet, they're going to do it today.
Offensive foul. So a couple fouls in short order on the redshirt sophomore from the South Sudan, John Boeheim. And Cole Swider's coming back in.
Yeah, his job was to go out there and give Cole Swider some minutes. And sometimes, you know, senior day, you think it's all about you, I guess. But he needs to just keep that ball moving and do the things that Coach Boeheim needs him to do, which is to give a teammate a break. Same play looking for the alley-oop. Let's see what the second and third options are off of this.
Isaiah Wong. He too is so good in the mid-range, just like McGusty.
They don't call him all-day Zay for nothing. You've seen already he's been able to knock down the three with the shot fake, getting to his mid-range game. He's the complete package.
You know, he said after that big game that he had Wednesday that he credits his mother and his brother, who helped him earlier this week back in Miami, get up a ton more shots because she said to him, I want you to get back to the old Zay.
And he struggled at times this year, but overall, you know, you don't get your shot in a day, you don't lose your shot in a day. But getting back in the gym with mom, brother, I think it just takes some of that pressure off and you can start to enjoy the game again.
He's a preseason All-ACC first-team choice. McGusty, too strong. Rebound Jimmy Boeheim.
See, Miami's timing is off right now. It's some of their offense. You see what they're looking for, but some of the screening angles need to be adjusted. I'm sure Coach Larinaga is going to make that happen as the game evolves.
Gerard out of a trap, found Swider. Jimmy Boeheim driving on Dengak for two.
And that's how, in the last game, when you looked at Jesse Edwards, the success he had, a lot of it came out of Miami's aggressiveness in going for traps on ball screens. So Jimmy picked up on that, what would have been probably a basket from Jesse Edwards.
Long no dice. And of course, the Jesse Edwards injury has loomed large, and he was so good in that first meeting with 22 and a ton of dunks. Boeheim, how about the crafty footwork?
Oh boy, we got laundry on the floor out there. Got laundry on the floor. Great play up and under. We said he's got an old man's game. Well, he just gave it to him.
Syracuse by 8. We take a timeout back in 30 to the Carrier Dome. Well, and Jimmy's starting to get going.
He really is. I mean, he's been such a strong component for Syracuse. You see a beautiful up and under move right there, and then he just finished it. You know, again, the way he's playing, finishing around the basket, he's playing with great confidence right now. And with Syracuse having a lead with the foul trouble, you know, Coach Boeheim's got to feel real happy about the way the team has gotten off the gate here today.
There's Jordan Miller.
Got Zay Wong in the corner right now, and that's where he's dangerous.
On the baseline to the top of your screen. This is Miller traveling.
That's where Syracuse's length inside. You just see Miami smaller. You know, I'm sure in practice yesterday and going through the zone, Miller was able to go up and make that shot. But today, there's an extra 6-7 inches in front of him.
So Syracuse by 8, coming up on 8 to go first half. Buddy Boeheim got it back. Ripped away by Jordan Miller. Isaiah Wong pushes. Moore, the lob to Miller. Nicely done.
Nice find. Beautiful look. Good push in transition. Charlie Moore getting other people involved.
Sixth-year senior from Chicago, playing at his fourth school. 24 years young.
We can talk about the age of this team. It's incredible. Got players in the NBA that are younger than half these guys in Miami.
That have been doing it for a long time in the league as well. Fouls on Charlie Moore, and it sends us to a timeout. He's been one of the great point guards in the Atlantic Coast Conference all season, beating Jordan Miller for 2.
Got my hair back.
Seeing the progress was awesome. Seeing my hair grow back so quick.
I feel great. I feel confident. I feel very happy about my journey so far with Keeps and where it's going in the future.
Get started at keeps.com/TV.
Hey, last Saturday, the Syracuse women's hockey team, they won their league championship, and so they are headed back to the NCAA tournament under the direction of head coach Paul Flanagan. And tomorrow, 9 o'clock on ESPN News, tune into the NCAA Women's Ice Hockey Selection Show. They were honored here earlier in this first half to a rousing ovation.
Manny's is selling those hockey jerseys right now, I'm sure, down on Marshall Street. Those are some nice sweaters, I would say.
Get your sweaters. Steve Evans, Mike Monaco, our entire crew with you from the Carrier Dome. First half action between Miami and Syracuse. Speaking of the postseason, Joe Lenardi's got Miami projected as a 9 seed. Right now, he sees 5 ACC teams in the dance. The highest is Duke. He's got them as a 2. And everyone else beyond Duke out of the ACC, you can't feel completely comfortable coming down the stretch.
Carolina's got some work to do. Obviously, they're going to have a tough game tonight with Duke. But when you look at Miami, you know, this game's important for them because they're one more. They need one more to feel really good. And you want to be able to go into that ACC tournament with a double bye without that pressure of feeling like you have to get that win.
Trail by 6, coming up on 7 to go first half.
Moore's been hesitant to take the long 3. I think he might get it here at the end of the shot clock if he gets it, but
Bensley Joseph lays it in off a nice skip from Wong out of trouble.
great job getting the ball out of transition. Wong was able to get it, and then with Joseph, really good finish with his left hand.
Freshman from Arlington, Massachusetts. He was number 80 in our ESPN 100.
I think he's got some people here today cheering for him behind the bench. Made the trip from the Boston area.
He pried it away. Moore found Wardenberg, but he couldn't corral the pass, and that's the 5th Miami turnover.
Miami has to capitalize when they can get transition plays. Take care of the basketball in transition.
Swider rims one out. Boy, how good was he in Chapel Hill? 36, a career high. One of the best point productions this year of any ACC player.
Put him up there with the people that had that game against Carolina, whether it be Len Bias, Lionel Simmons, some of the great performances. His name is right up there with them.
He did it from the moment that game started. Syracuse now coming up on 3 minutes without points. And leading by 4. Slider into the pull-up, no, but another offensive rebound by Frank Anselm, giving good minutes off the bench. Boeheim on the turnaround.
Once again, Frank Anselm keeping the possession alive. And Jimmy Buddy not settling for the 3, but being able to get into the paint and take his patented turnaround shot.
There's one of those deep ones from Charlie Moore, and a tip for Miller.
Miller's the garbage man, picking up all the stuff around, all that loose change. But I was wondering when Charlie Miller is going to start, bringing out the arsenal, taking those long shots, because once he starts establishing that depth and that range, that's going to open up some penetration for some of the other players.
Buddy Boeheim with a little size on Isaiah Wong, took the bump, and will shoot 2.
Here we go.
Miami's extending, and they're playing really, really aggressive defense. And the type of pressure they're putting on the ball is taking a lot of energy. And then that, it could be affecting them on the other end as far as being able to shoot.
Hey, tonight's primetime game on ABC in the app. Steph, Clay, the Warriors in LA to take on LeBron and the Lakers. Our coverage starts with NBA Countdown, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, over on ABC in the app.
And Miami's 1 of 8 from 3 at this point. They're going to need to knock down some shots against the zone if they want to stay in the game.
With Buddy and Jimmy Boeheim leading the way on Syracuse Senior Day.
Steal.
Nearly was from Joe Girard. McGusty attacking the rim. And it belongs to Syracuse. Again, extending some full-length pressure here against Syracuse.
Another deflection with Moore just pounding Girard, and with the payoff hopefully coming for Miami State later in the game as it starts getting into Syracuse's legs with all the pressure.
Buddy Boeheim drills it. 15 in the first half for Buddy Boeheim.
You think he's taking some shots here in the Dome in his life? He's not going to pass up on anything today, and once that ball starts going through for him, you can see that little grin start to come out, and the energy from Syracuse, they're getting it from the fans today. Saturday, great day to be here in the Dome.
He commits a foul that has his father in a customary look of disbelief. You know, speaking of Buddy's upbringing, I was chatting with him a couple years ago, and he told me that when he was 3 or 4 years old, he would go into his parents' room, and in there they've got a cabinet of DVDs, and it's hundreds of old Syracuse games. And he would watch 3 to 4 of them a day, and he did it until he was 11 or 12 years old, just consuming all this history of Syracuse basketball. He's got a lethal stroke as well, and he checked from Buddy.
Thing about Buddy's release, he gets it off quicker than anybody on those DVDs he was watching. I'm sure Jerry McNamara has worked with Buddy not only since he's been here at Syracuse, but even when he was in high school. This has got to be an emotional day for Jerry McNamara as well, for the amount of time he spent with the Boeheim family, not only as a player, but also as a coach.
Look at that ball movement from Miami. Sam Wardenberg will end up shooting a pair off some nice passing that started from Wooga Poplar. Well, Buddy's got 15, including 3 triples, leading the way for Syracuse at home. Syracuse leads Miami 31-22 back at the Carrier Dome. And a Miami team that can finish either 3rd or 4th in the ACC, depending on how things shake out here on the final day of the regular season. And Miami and Wake Forest are 2 of the best stories in this conference for how Jim Larrañaga and Steve Forbes have exceeded the preseason expectations. And we're thinking that it's got to be one of these 4. It certainly will be one of these 4 for ACC Coach of the Year. I think most people around the conference are talking about Steve Forbes, but what Mike Bray has done in South Bend has been terrific. And then, of course, Mike Krzyzewski. They've been the best team in the conference all year.
Without a doubt, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be hard not to go with Coach Krzyzewski. I think any other year, you're looking at some of those other coaches, but it's hard not to in the man's last year and everything he's meant to college basketball, not to give the nod to somebody who really is, they picked to finish first. They did what they were supposed to do, and a lot of credit goes to Mike Krzyzewski for the year they've had, and hopefully he can continue it on.
They have already clinched the outright ACC regular season title. Remains to be seen who of Notre Dame and North Carolina is the 2 seed. Buddy from long range, no, and a one-arm rebound for Jordan Miller. All right, so Miami down by 8 here, Steve. 3 to go first half.
It's going to be important the last 3 minutes for Miami to get into that halftime with something good, something positive. Right now, I think they're 1 of 10 from 3. They're not getting the type of 3-point shots that they want to. They're not coming from inside out of penetration. And Syracuse is doing a good job of taking care of the basketball. They haven't let Miami get transition baskets in a way that Miami was hoping to when the game started.
Joe Girard can't connect down to the corner, and a big rebound for Sam Wardenberg.
See, Miami's not pushing. They're playing 5-on-5, and every time you're playing 5-on-5 against Syracuse, you're getting Miami out of their rhythm in a sense. It's not the man-to-man they're used to playing. Right there, they had an opening high-low. It's just the timing is off with Miami today.
Wardenberg couldn't find Miller. Now McGusty does. Miller snaking around the end line. Moore is probing. Back to Miller. Can't beat the shot clock. Boeheim posting up on Miller. So adroit with both hands, and it's Miami ball. Bull Swider can't believe it, and the officials will overturn it.
I think that was the right call. From my vantage point, looks like it should stay with Syracuse.
And Jim Larrañaga is displeased. Looks like the correct call. He's still got it, coach. And McGusty fouls Buddy Boeheim on the corner jumper, and that's 2 on McGusty.
You have to arrive with your hands high. Anytime your hands are down when Boeheim catches the ball looking to score, and you got to rise up, you're always at the mercy of getting one of those fouls, and you don't want to foul a three-point shooter. That's just something you don't want to do. You want to contest without fouling, but if you arrive first with your hands up, you're already halfway there. You'll see there he just showed up a second late, and now you're lunging, and that's where you pick up your foul.
So with that second foul, McGusty exits, and Anthony Walker returns.
Both teams, both coaches taking the valuable players out with 2 fouls. I know Coach Boeheim a lot of times trusts players. Can still remember in the Final Four with Carmelo Anthony picking up 2 and he kept them in, and that's just a philosophy.
Jim Larrañaga needs a timeout. The lead for Syracuse has swelled to 11 late first half.
Your soap sucks. Ugh. And your body wash is a synthetic detergent.
In the first half, he is set to get the Canes back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2018. And we told you earlier that Wednesday he became Miami's all-time winningest coach.
Incredible journey for Coach. Been at it for a long time. We all remember the run he had with George Mason getting him to the Final Four in 2006. But really the turnaround and the energy at Miami right now. You turn on a game, you watch a Miami game, they're putting fannies in the stands, and students are excited about this team.
Got him in top 4 positioning in the ACC. Charlie Moore does not get a friendly roll, and it's Syracuse basketball, and it's 1 of 11 from 3 now for the Canes.
And now it's starting to become mental. That was a good shot, and I think when they get into half court, they have to talk. When they get into halftime, Coach L is going to have to talk to the team about what are the good three-point shots. We're getting good shots, we're just not knocking them down. But we have to keep getting the ball into the paint, inside out, get offensive rebound kickouts. Those are the ways Miami's going to have to score from 3.
And meanwhile, Syracuse has a half dozen triples. This one courtesy of Joe Girard.
It's playing out just the way we thought, the way Syracuse is shooting the ball. It's the one thing that's been consistent with Syracuse. When they're shooting, they can beat anybody.
Miller spinning and finishing, plus a foul for Jordan Miller.
How about the pass by Wardenberg as well for a kid that's 6'11", making that nice bounce feed. Unbelievable play, good strong finish inside by Miller. Miller's been a bright spot here, picking up a lot of loose change, being able to finish around the basket. That's a good sign going into halftime, but it's more of the guard play for Miami that hasn't been there, and their ability to score the basket.
Team high 9 for Jordan Miller, the George Mason transfer who hails from Middleburg, Virginia. Syracuse now with it, about a 6-second difference between game and shot clocks. Syracuse will use its use it or lose it here at the end of the first half. Check out this lineup we've got for you today. Blackhawks square off against the Flyers, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC. North Carolina and Duke on ESPN. Warriors, Lakers, Steph and LeBron, 8:30 Eastern on ABC. And then the main card, UFC 272 from Las Vegas, starts at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. A little bit of everything for you on this March Saturday.
That late night fight, they do a great job of hyping that up, don't they? I mean, I don't know much about it, but I'll tell you what, that's something you want to tune in for. Those two guys do not like each other.
Coming later tonight at the end of a loaded day across the sports landscape. Here at the Dome, it's Syracuse by 11. Buddy Boeheim has 18 points, and he came into the day second in the ACC in scoring and needed 30 to surpass Alondas Williams of Wake Forest, the conference's leading scorer, and Wake Forest already done for the regular season. Buddy Boeheim well on his way in this first half. Gerard and Jimmy Boeheim bottled up. Jimmy Boeheim slashing on Walker, and a shot clock violation will give Miami the last look here of the half. Final few seconds, Charlie Moore driving, batted away by Anselm to close out the first half.
Coach Larinaga furious wanting that foul, and I think he's right. They got their hand on a little bit more than the ball in that last possession.
He is still barking at the officials here at the break. Well, it's Syracuse by 11 on Miami. The Boeheims of Buddy Boeheim with 18 in that first half. Brother Jimmy Boeheim with 8 as well, and a double-digit margin on Miami. Remember that first meeting, Syracuse was up 14 at the break. Miami stormed back in an 88-87 win. Steve Evans, Mike Monaco, our entire crew back with you. Boeheim Sidibe scores to start the second half after he picked up 2 fouls and only played 8 minutes in the first half.
Great possession for Syracuse, really made Miami work, and Boeheim showing that he's not that rusty after sitting all year.
Usual starting 5 for Miami to begin the second half, and Kameron McGusty's runner doesn't drop.
Good look for McGusty getting into the paint. That's something he does, but he can't leave Buddy open. No,
he is cooking.
Oh boy, that's just a mistake. You can't leave him open. And guy had, you know, he's on his way. He's on his way for that 30 today.
That's what he needs if he wants to be the ACC's regular season scoring champion. First place currently held by Alondas Williams of Wake Forest. Old Swider. Follow away, no. Rebound Jordan Miller, who was maybe the best Kane in the first half.
Sidibe's got to be smart. He almost picked up his 3rd foul right there.
Miller, no, on the offensive glass, and he wanted a foul. So it's now 1 of 12 from 3 for Miami. Charlie Moore is the ACC's steals per game leader. He's up pounding Gerard.
Really important for Syracuse in the first 5 minutes. This is where Miami got it. So they got to show some toughness here in these first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half.
Good contest on Cole Swider. Wardenberg leaked free underneath. Moore thought about a deep one, and now Joe Girard picks up his first foul.
Not a bad foul for Joe, only his first foul. Just keeping Miami out of rhythm. That's what Syracuse has been able to do. And, you know, with the second half adjustments, I'm sure Coach L has told his team we've got to get the ball into the paint. We've got to get some penetration. We need to take good threes. And we got to make sure that our defense is going to lead with some offense. So far, Syracuse has got to weather that here to start the second half.
Costly turnover. Syracuse running. Sidibe on the catch and the lay-in.
Nice find by Joe Girard. Could have pulled up, but saw the big guy and rewarded him with the hoop, which obviously is going to make Sidibe play a little harder on the defensive end.
Back to Syracuse.
Sidibe started it with a deflection, ran the court, and gets rewarded with the bucket.
Guy who's been battling knee injuries over the last few seasons, really his whole career, his 5 years here in Central New York. And he told Donna Ditota this week he wouldn't even say he's at 85%, but he's trying to do whatever he can to help this team. Girard on a misfire, McGusty the rebound. Canes with numbers as Buddy's behind the play. Nice pass from Charlie Moore to Miller.
That was probably their best possession of the game. They had some transition. They got the ball from one side to the other. They didn't settle. They were able to get a really good look inside. Now they need to get a defensive stop. Miami, you can see when you score, all of a sudden that pressure defensively picks up. And now they're looking to run again.
McGusty threads a pass to Charlie Moore, and he lays it in. And 4 quick ones that have come from the transition you've been talking about all afternoon.
Doing a good job right now. You see Charlie Moore taking Joe Girard out of the game. So now you got Buddy handling the ball. Now this is not what Syracuse wants. This is not the rhythm they're used to playing with. However, it does get Girard off the ball where maybe he can make some things happen.
Remember Monday, the secondary ball handler for Syracuse ended up being Jimmy Boeheim because he was matched up for so much of that night with Armando Bacot.
Not a good recipe. It's not something that he's comfortable doing.
Jordan Miller, the theft, and Swider commits the foul.
And that one there, Syracuse catches a break on that. As a coach, I hated that. I mean, that's 2 points for Miami. You know, if that referee just swallows the whistle, you let that guy go in for a layup, you let it play on. But that's almost a good play for Syracuse. With the foul itself, could have been intentional the way Cole Swider went after him. And that's what Coach Larinaga is, you know, trying to get some clarification on over there.
Yeah, there's no such thing in the college game as a clear path foul, but
right.
Certainly when you see it, sometimes on the more egregious side can be a flagrant.
Getting close to grabbing that shirt, that's the one thing where it does become an intentional.
Wardenberg operating in the mid-post, back for McGusty. Yes, sir.
That's the inside-out three. That's the McGusty. That you know, those are the shots he needs to make, and obviously Wardenberg excellent at finding him.
Can Miami get another stop here?
They're not going to get it back all at once, so they just have to chip away. But you can see there's a fire in their eyes right now. Syracuse has to weather this storm.
Miller gets a block. Had something to say about it too. And here comes Miami. Charlie Moore lays it in. Jim Boeheim needs a timeout. Miami with a flurry, much like that first meeting 2 months ago. Cam McGusty got the three to drop, just the second for the Canes in this one. And Miami out in transition off the Miller block.
Juicy strips, all this, and house-made ranch. So follow your ranch dreams to DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
His radio show started the other day, and Jim from Fayetteville calls in, and he had something to address about his future as well. And bottom line, he said, there's a plan. He's certainly going to be coaching at least next year. We'll see beyond that, and says there's a plan for his retirement.
As far as I'm concerned, when your name's on the court, you can decide if and when and how you want to do whatever you want to do with your life when you decide to stop coaching. But I can tell you one thing, Coach Boeheim is a competitor. He would not want to leave after a season like this. The standard of Syracuse basketball is not what it is. We know that as far as people in the community, and Coach Boeheim knows that better than anybody. At the next time, he would love to leave this program in the hands of somebody at a time where the players and everything are up to that expectation. He's done so much for the community, and whoa, that one was up there. He's done so much
Miller
for the
almost threw
Syracuse
that down.
community. For him not to have the treatment of being able to go out on his terms is just something that I think should be better.
Well, he's got a 9-point lead right now, but Miami is on a 9-0 run early second half.
Colby Covington wants to fight against his former good friend Jorge Masvidal. What you know about Pop?
In a ton of close games this year. 6 ACC losses, 5 of them decided by 4 points or fewer, including 3 one-point losses that they've had this year. And they also have 4 wins this season when they've been down by at least 13.
I think the biggest thing with Miami is their experience. The fact that they're not going to get rattled when they're down at halftime or when they lose a tough game. This team is showing throughout the year that they can bounce back, and they're a strong team because of their leadership. And you see it right here today playing out in front of us, the way that even Syracuse coming out of the second half came out strong. Miami was able to still find a way to not lose their feet and answer back.
An 11-0 run as Isaiah Wong makes both free throws. A couple timeouts ago, they did make sure to check. It was a 3 from Kameron McGusty when he knocked that one down from the outside. And a foul on Miami trying to get a trap on Girard.
Miami can smell blood. The full court pressure and just getting the ball over half court is going to be a chore for Syracuse here in the second half.
3 fouls on Isaiah Wong. This 11-0 run. Swider backing down. Miller digs onto him. And now a trap on the baseline. Taken away. Charlie Moore ahead of the pack, lays it in.
And that's Miami basketball right there. Turnovers, layups, transition baskets. Syracuse has to get back into their rhythm because Miami has punched back.
And when you talked about the type of turnovers that Syracuse can't afford to have, it's those turnovers for touchdowns. Buddy Boeheim got fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Great double team off the ball by Miller. Miller's been so active, made so many little plays. Even though this play starts and ends with Charlie Moore, it was Miller that aggressively found that trap, got his hand on the ball. Deflections lead to steals, steals lead to layups. On the other end, you see Jimmy Boeheim at the line right now. We always know fouling negates hustle. Miami has great hustle right now, but that last foul, for all the work they're doing, they just gave Boeheim 2 more points.
Buddy knocks down both. Syracuse has made all 11 at the stripe. The margin is 7. McGusty finds Wardenberg. Miami moves it. Moore pulls it back out. McGusty slices. Floater no. And it stays with Miami at this end. Today over on ESPN in the app, 3 games still to come, highlighting a huge day of college hoops. 4 Eastern, 3 Central, Allen Fieldhouse. Number 6, Kansas hosting number 21, Texas. Then at Cameron, good luck getting a ticket. Number 4, Duke and Carolina. And then after UFC 272 prelims, top 20 matchup, USC and UCLA, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Miami with the baseline out of bounds. Long lost it, but a Syracuse foul.
Game's been an aggressive game on both ends.
Puts Isaiah Wong at the stripe. He's good on the first.
Fans didn't like that call, but it's been pretty evenly called, both ends of the floor. Ticky-tack here, ticky-tack there, kind of evens off as the game goes on.
5-point game. Girard comes to get it. And a Miami foul. They give it to Charlie Moore. That's 2 on Moore. Would have been 4 on Wong. So Syracuse has gone more than 4 minutes without a made bucket now, Steve.
They got to go to their man right here, Buddy Boeheim. They're going to clear out a side, so it takes away the help. You see them there, everyone in Syracuse on the left-hand side. It's an ISO that makes it really difficult for Miami to go double. Miami did a good job of getting deflection on Buddy on that play.
Shot clock winding down. Swider couldn't bank it in. Jimmy Boeheim can't follow. Here come the Canes. Wong off the jab step. Gets to the rim and he's fouled. And Isaiah Wong has been attacking and getting to the line here early in the second half.
We said it at the start of the game. This team is relentless attacking the basket. Syracuse did a great job in the first half of not letting that happen. Miami in the second half, they're giving up good shots and they continue to move the ball and create plays out of getting to the paint off the bounce.
Something when we were talking with Jim Larinaga earlier this week that he wanted them to get back to, getting more trips to the free throw line, the way it's been for a lot of this season.
The other thing is it allows them to set up their full court press, and this is wearing on Syracuse. Every time the ball goes in the basket, after a free throw, the press is coming.
And again, it's fresh legs, and the freshman Bensley Joseph, who has the assignment right now on Buddy Boeheim, even though Boeheim has 5 inches on Joseph.
I think at this point in the season, Buddy's seen it all. So you can keep throwing guys at him. He's going to put that smile on his face. He's going to keep playing.
Baseline out of bounds, a curl for Girard, but he comes up short. Miami still with it on this run. Moore, a deep one. Rounding out, Swider the rebound.
He's going for the juggler there on that one. Moore, it's like, hey, I did this to you last time. I'm going to do it again.
Swider can't answer for Syracuse. Jimmy Boeheim on the 3rd try.
Jimmy Boeheim has been a workhorse for Syracuse inside. Even though he couldn't finish the possession before, he's relentless at going to the boards here for Syracuse. Having a great game.
Moore, oh, great look underneath to Jordan Miller.
Great find by Moore. Frank Anselm's got to have his hands up. He's got to take up space.
Moore threaded that one all the way into Jordan Miller. He's got 13 to pace the Canes.
See again, they look like they're going to get Jimmy the ball on the side of the floor. But man, the pressure's just hands are up. Not much there for him.
Buddy dumps off for Jimmy. Blocked by Walker. Anselm's foul. Well, you knew how this season has 5 assists for Charlie Moore, and he's been getting out in transition as well with 6 second-half points so far. And remember, the first meeting between these teams, he was wonderful.
Yeah, it's 6 3-pointers against Syracuse in the first game. He has yet to get one today, but he's been able to influence the game in other ways. His assists, he's finding people, he's getting out in transition, and Syracuse fans are holding their breath because they know one of those logo shots is in his repertoire. The question is whether it's not going to come out today and go in, or if it's going to come out and it's going to bounce out for Syracuse.
Right now, it's Syracuse by 4. Still a long way to go. More than 11 remaining in the second half. Frank Anselm at the line, and he's good on the first.
Frank Anselm did a great job in the first half when when he came in for Sidibe.
For good old Barama
Sidibe, when he came in for him in the first half. But you know, the second half here, other than giving up the basket underneath, he's done a great job on the boards for Syracuse.
Yeah, 5 boards. He splits at the line. The cushion is 5 for Cuse.
Looking to get Jordan Miller the ball in the middle, let him attack inside out.
Operating at that elbow. Instead, it's McGusty driving, gets the roll.
That's his game. Talked about it before. He's so efficient. Not only can he knock down threes, but he can get into the lane and finish.
Girard missed it at the rim, and Miller whistled for a foul.
Joe's got to flush that. He's got to keep his head in the game. Nothing lost here. Jimmy at the line with a chance to take 2 points here at the line. He's not the greatest three-point or free throw shooter, but still, it's not an empty possession if he can get something here.
11 points, 7 rebounds for Jimmy Boeheim.
Also,
his one and only year here at Syracuse.
Being at the line with the timeouts in the game, these are all chances for Syracuse to get a rest, because Miami has been relentless here in the second half with their pressure.
Works both ways though, right? Miami not particularly deep either.
Exactly right now, the way this game is unfolding, exactly as we predicted. It's a tale of 2 halves, and it's a repeat of the last time they played.
It's Moore, Joseph, McGusty, Miller, and Walker, the 5 for Jim Larinaga. Miller turns it over.
Can't leave your feet to make passes. You got to stay down.
You got to find 35 in white. He's driving. Battle on the boards. Off the head of Bensley Joseph. Stays with the orange.
Buddy's shaking his head. Can't believe he missed that one.
He's got 23 points on 6 of 12 shooting, including 4 triples. He was swiping at it. Swider is bumped by Jordan Miller. Girard is fouled on the jump shot.
Charlie Moore has been hounding Joe Girard. You'll see here on this play, hands are just so active. Charlie gets behind and gives him a little bump underneath, and Joe's not the guy you want to foul. This is a guy who's won plenty of free throw shooting contests in his life, and good chance of this going 2 for 2.
A family you know pretty well.
Had a chance to play against his father in high school and in college, and then had a chance to coach at Lemoyne, where Joe's father was an excellent three-point shooter, a terrific player for the Dolphins across town.
And you told his father, hey, we want to get in on the Joe Girard offer train early on. And he had an idea he was ticketed for something else.
When Joe was in 7th grade, he got moved up to the high school division, got MVP at the camp. So at that point, the scholarship was offered and it was denied. Joe Sr. had bigger plans.
With all requisite courtesy. 53-46, the Syracuse lead on Miami on the final day of the regular season in the ACC. Miami currently projected as a 9 seed by Joe Lunardi. They'll have a double bye in Brooklyn next week in the conference tournament. And Wong with a tough 2.
Nothing you can do about that. That's just Wong being able to rise up and make difficult shots. It's what he does.
He makes so many challenging shots.
There's a lot of pressure on the ball. That's a tough shot. After all that dribbling around, that's not a good possession for Syracuse.
And Miami's running. McGusty is slicing. And now Bensley Joseph turns it over. Good hands by Frank Anselm. Syracuse running. Joe Girard spots up. Got it.
That was incredible. Jimmy Boeheim comes up with a steal. He's got a chance for a layup, and he saw his buddy Joe in the corner just salivating. That's called trust. Trusting your teammates. Joe Girard can knock down shots, and he found them, and that was a big play for Syracuse. You see Joe's hands up, salivating there. Great little drift pass by Jimmy Boeheim, and Joe, when he's open, he's as good as they get. Huge three-pointer for Syracuse.
After Swider started it with the deflection at the other end, and Syracuse bumps the lead back up to 8 with 9 to go in the second half.
Miami once again, they get hit. Will they respond from this? They're grinding. They're trying to get back into the game. Miami has to flush these type of possessions, these highs that Syracuse is going to get with a 3, a steal, a dunk, whatever it could be. But Miami has to just keep chipping away and try to get this down with 4 minutes to go, get it under 5 and make it a game.
See Girard start of the 13. One of 3 in double figures for Syracuse. Charlie Moore back into the game. He's out there with Wong, McGusty, Miller, and Wardenberg, the starting 5 for Miami. Miller draws a blocking foul. It's on Frank Anselmo.
Frank's got to be able to close that trap, and that's one of the things Syracuse can get when they get those traps in the corner. Oh, there's a mistake.
And Miller's fouled, and that's 4 on Anselmo.
Great cut by Miller. Great find on the inbounds play. It's Syracuse falling asleep. See here, Buddy kind of turned his head, and unfortunately, you know, you got to see man, see ball. Great backdoor cut by Miller, and the lefty at the line to get 2.
Able to knock him down and trim the gap to a half dozen.
Syracuse doing a better job of beating the press here after the free throws. Getting in a good rhythm. Trying to get or Buddy the ball. Now you see he's on the right-hand side. It's hard to double team. So it's a one-on-one game, and we've seen him knock down that shot, but he's just not making it right now. But that's put in place to take away the double teams.
Just ISO him on that side.
ISO him on the right side, because if you put him in the middle, a lot of hands can get in there and make it difficult for Buddy to play his game.
Gusty. Follow not there. And boy, that runner through the middle of the zone.
Gotta look
has
for
fallen off
Swider
a few
here.
times from McGusty. There he is.
There it
Swider
goes.
knocks it down.
Great find in transition by Girard. Swider getting out. A lot of teams run for layups in transition. Syracuse runs for the 3-point shot.
You called it. McGusty. Left-hand finish.
There goes that man again. Getting into the paint and finishing. Good answer by McGusty.
He's got 11. Anselmo with 4 fouls comes up, slips the screen.
Just hounding Joe Girard.
Waves off Anselmo.
Can't get into a one-on-one battle. Joe's got to let the game come to him.
Buddy. Oh, a deep one.
That's a logo. A logo for Senior Day Buddy. Let's see if Miami can answer with a shot of their own. Charlie Moore's open in the corner. They missed him. He's going to have a good look. So crafty with the ball.
In and out. Rebound, Buddy Boeheim.
I'd have liked to see Syracuse push out of that again. Try to get another transition basket, but half-court defense.
Buddy comes up empty this time. 26 points on 5 threes for Buddy Boeheim on his senior day. Very likely the last time that he plays here at the Carrier Dome. What a career he has had.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it New York style, so you can fold it.
Down the stretch they come, 6.5 to go. Jim Boeheim on one side, Jim Larinaga on the other. A couple of guys who bear some resemblance to one another.
Talk about brothers, huh? My goodness, twins. Coach Larinaga, Jim Boeheim, funny story. A few years ago, Coach Larinaga's bag didn't show up with the team. So what did he do? He called his friend Jim, and then Julie put together a nice little outfit, and the two of them had a game together.
Works out when you're a similar size, huh? With the assist to Julie.
Fashion consultant.
Steve Evans, Mike Monaco, our entire crew with you here at the Carrier Dome. 10-point game, slices to 8. Boy, has Jordan Miller been good. He's up to 17 to go along with 9 boards.
MVP right there for Miami today. He's been killing them on the boards, doing a great job in that open area in the middle of the post against the zone.
Boy, Joe Girard has to work so hard to get the ball in his hands against Moore.
Another deflection. Got to help him. Somebody's got to come to the ball.
Boeheim does. Jordan Miller's on him. Shot clock winding down. Boeheim drives. Right hand, no. Secured by Wardenberg.
Possessions that start bad usually end bad, and it started with the deflection, Joe having to pick up the ball. Important here for Miami to try to get, there's the lob again.
Wong! Soaring from McGusty.
They tried to run that 3 times in the first half. The timing wasn't there. It was just right for Miami, with Wong getting up, almost touching the top of the dome on that one.
6-point game, 5 to go in regulation.
Too much standing right now for Syracuse.
But he gives it up. Girard triggers. Short. 2 possessions in a row, not what you wanted to see from Syracuse.
And Miami smelling blood right now. They got it moving. They got to move that ball.
Settled into the half court here. Charlie Moore pulling the strings. The 6th-year senior point guard.
McGusty in the middle, trying to let him be the creator.
Gets the roll off the back of the iron.
Miami has found their rhythm here. Syracuse is on their heels. They've got to have a good possession. They can't be stagnant. They've got to get the ball moving. They've got to get into their offense quicker to let the possession happen. You see Miami's got Syracuse playing too far away from the basket right now. Going to ISO. There's a foul.
Face up it is on Sam Wardenberg. That's his first. So 1-and-1 coming for Jimmy Boeheim. 62% for the season.
He's better than a 62% free throw shooter, but the stats don't lie. That's what he's been this year for Syracuse, and he's going to have to knock down an important 1-and-1 right now for the Orange.
Syracuse as a team, 17 of 18 at the line this afternoon. His father says that Jimmy has exceeded all his expectations this year. A guy who didn't have a scholarship offer until Cornell came around. And Jimmy has said he has grown so much closer with Buddy over the course of this season together.
Talked about Miami getting it to 5 points with 5 minutes. That's right where we're at right now. 4 minutes to go, 5-point game. Miami's got it right where they want it. There's a little walk right there.
McGusty turns it over and a foul. Goes against the Canes, and it's on Cam McGusty, and it's his 4th with 4 to go. Miami has trailed by as many as 18, but Isaiah Wong climbing up top. 6-point game. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done. And now you fast forward and it's senior day for Buddy and Jimmy, and Mom Julie is rocking the best shirt you can find.
You know, they say the days the sweat, and here they are today sweating on the court, and with Julie being here for all of it, it's been amazing on her birthday to be able to enjoy this senior day. I'm sure she would love to see Coach Boeheim come home with a win.
Syracuse knows what its future holds. They're going to have to win 4 games in 4 days in Brooklyn to advance to the NCAA tournament. That's only been done once back in 2017 by Duke. And then sitting at 500, of course, they don't want that streak to end. They're trying to get to 16 and 15. They get a split at the line. They lead by 7 on Miami. Charlie Moore, up top Miller.
Great play out of the timeout for Coach Larinaga. That was drawn up and executed to perfection.
Second lob in short order for the Canes. 5-point game, 3.5 to go in regulation. It's now Isaiah Wong, who's on Buddy Boeheim, top left of your screen. McGusty switches on to Girard. Got it!
Onions right there. That's tough shot for Joe right there. Hand in his face, step back three. When Syracuse needed it most, he came through here with 3 minutes to go.
Wong can't knock it down.
Miami would have liked a little better possession, especially coming off of the alley-oop the one before, but what a great finish we have. 2:45 remaining. Looks like we're going to go iso ball again with Jimmy up top. Look for people helping off and look for possible dishes in the corner to Cole Swider.
Buddy Boeheim with 26 points. Working on Miller. Gets the roll.
That's your backyard rim roll right there.
McGusty slashing and finishing. 8-point game, 2:14 to go, and a Jim Larinaga timeout.
This game is far from over. Far from over. A quick possession there, a timeout. Everything right now is, as far as Syracuse momentum, Miami being able to answer back quickly. Joe Girard's three here, incredible shot, and then you get this backyard playing with your buddies. That's from shooting in the dome so many times. Seeing that ball go in, he's kind of looking up with the eyes like, you know it, this is my house.
Buddy Boeheim said to Mike Waters this week that as a freshman, I didn't know if I was going to make it here. And I really struggled. And the way he got off to his career here with the Orange was well documented. And when it all wraps up, right now he's got more than 1,700 career points. Second all-time in made three-pointers. And boy, is he going out with a bang. 28 points, 3 shy of matching his career high.
Unbelievable performance today, Buddy, on his last game here in the Dome. Being able to come out right from the get-go. Miami lost him without their hands up. He had good looks to start the game. Obviously feeling it here deep from the logo. And then the last play, just being able to go in and give it that old man game, that little step back. And then he comes back and just lets everyone know this is the doormat to the Boeheim's house. My dad's name's on the floor, but I'm the one bringing it home.
Wow. I mean, how special a moment is that? You saw what he said, this is my home. And a pat to the chest, and more specifically to the heart, as he was hearing it from the Syracuse faithful.
Still got a ways to go to finish this off for Syracuse. They must take care of the basketball and have good possessions and not allow quick baskets for Miami.
Miami has 18 fouls. We got a long way to go. Final 2 minutes
Miami
of
cannot
regulation.
Foul. They cannot foul. Syracuse is too good of a free throw shooting team. They got to play solid defense without fouling.
Girard starting to feel it on a step back. Tipped around. Moore's got it.
Miami's
Here comes
go
Wong
quick.
racing up court.
Inside out, there's the three. Charlie Moore, all day we've been waiting for it. There it comes at the most crucial time.
5-point game, 90 seconds to go in the second half.
Look up. Syracuse had somebody open. They got to look ahead.
Instead, they run some more clock. Swider throws a risky pass. Girard able to secure it.
Can't play not to lose. You got to take advantage of opportunities when you have it. Syracuse, once again, going to run clock. Going to go for ISO, look for a cheap foul here, and they got it.
From Anthony Walker. So Buddy Boeheim will go to the line. 21 seconds into the possession.
9 seconds on the shot clock. Miami is, we talked all day about their maturity and how smart they are fouling somebody out that far from the basket. We know what was going to happen. It was going to be a one-on-one play. You weren't going to steal it from them. Play solid defense, finish the possession. Instead, you give Buddy Boeheim a chance here. Knock down 2 with the clock stopped.
And if he makes this next one, he will surpass both in total points and per game average Alondas Williams of Wake Forest. for the ACC scoring title here in the regular season.
Did you think there was going to be something different? No way. Watch for more. He just hit the last one. He'll take it again.
McGusty on a turnaround makes it a 5-point game in the final minute. Swider running the baseline, looking for somewhere to go, and he's got to use one of Syracuse's remaining 2 timeouts.
This is where you start getting flashbacks with Syracuse with the North Carolina game just so recent the other day. Got to be able to get the ball in. What happens is Miami has pressed Syracuse all game long. So Syracuse, you think about it, how many press breaks do you have? Maybe 1 or 2, maybe a wrinkle. I'm sure that's what Coach Boeheim's doing right now, is trying to put a wrinkle into the press break that they've used all game. Syracuse has to get it in. They got to be strong. Miami's not going to foul. They're going to try to trap and rotate and get a quick steal.
Monday on ACC Network, final 2 episodes of the tournament, a history of ACC men's basketball, episodes 9 and 10. Great docuseries so far. You can always watch past episodes on the ESPN app. All right, so the game reset. 5-point game. Syracuse with 1 timeout remaining. Free throws the rest of the way. And Jim Larrañaga looked pretty calm in that huddle.
You think he's been here many times. Frank Ansom's going to get the ball here. They're going to let him get open, and they're going to come and foul. Here it comes.
Moore instead going for a steal. They get a held ball, and the arrow points to Miami.
All the people that have to get the ball, there's 4 of them out there for Syracuse. The one is Frank Ansom that you don't want to get the ball. Miami knew that. They took advantage of it. Syracuse has to get the ball on the deck and get the ball into one of their good free throw shooters.
Now Miami with it, down by 5, final minute. McGusty, 1 possession game.
Well, Miami's got to be conscious of the score right now. They don't need to foul.
And Girard turns it over. Waiting on the signal from Bill Covington, who almost went down with the arrow, and it's back to Miami.
Just an untimely turnover for Girard. He's having a great game. He's got to flush the mistake. He's got to get back into it. Miami, on the other hand, has had success here. They're going to look at it.
Cam McGusty, Charlie Moore can't believe it. Bill Covington wants to take another look. Girard coming up court, and that's off Syracuse.
Well, there's nothing about that. Maybe a little bump there, hand check, but Joe's got to lose the theatrics of trying to get the foul. He's got to value the basketball in that. Syracuse is in a situation. Take care of the ball, run the clock down. If Miami fouls, you get to the line, have a good possession, finish off the game. Instead, you got to get to the next play. For Miami, I see what they've been able to do over the last few possessions, get that ball right into the heart of the zone, right into that ACC logo, and then play out of it. Whether it be McGusty in the middle, I think that's what they're going to try to go to, is get him back into that middle area and let him go to work.
Jim Larrañaga's team in a season in which they have bounced back in a major way from last year's struggle with all the injuries they dealt with. Well on their way to the NCAA tournament. They'll have a double bye in the ACC tournament. And they're trying to come from 18 down at the Carrier Dome. Here in the final minute of regulation with McGusty in that very spot. Gets it at the free throw line. Here's Moore. Can't connect, the tip is there. It's a 1-point game. Jordan Miller at the rim.
Gotta get it in.
It's into Anselm. A double, ripped
Syracuse,
away.
They get the ball this time, though, with a jump.
On the alternating possession. Jim Boeheim has seen enough. He's going to John Moll-Jacques, who only played 1 minute in the first half and has not played much this season.
Look for somebody possibly going long with taking care of the aggressiveness. Nobody's going long. Everybody's running to the baseline. Easy traps coming here for Miami.
In the hands of Buddy Boeheim. Syracuse has to get it over the timeline. Swider spinning, and they do.
They got timeouts.
And Moore takes it away. Charlie Moore is fouled on the floor, and he will go to the line. Wow.
Gotta know you have timeouts in a case like this. Cole Swider's in trouble right now. Just call timeout. Get a timeout. Keep possession of the ball. Miami, all day long, we've been talking about their defense and what they're able to create with the steals, and it's coming back to haunt Syracuse right here down the stretch.
A 1-and-1 for Charlie Moore. 77% for his career, and you see his first trip this afternoon. Misses the first. Miller on the follow, and Miami leads. Final 10 seconds. Gerard with it. Gets to the elbow. Can't knock it down. Miller the rebound, and he's fouled.
Unbelievable play from Miller, being able to get on the free throw line and get that put back. So important, end of game, got to be able to block out. Right here, you see the block out. Just forgetting, and can't do that at the end of the game. You got to be able to finish, and you can't expect people to make free throws at the end of the game. Still not over. Syracuse got to have their heads up right here. You got 3.9 left. They got to get to the next play.
Jordan Miller has been magnificent. 23 points, 13 rebounds. His first double-double in a Miami uniform, and a 71% free throw shooter earns another. Syracuse does have one timeout left. Miller makes both. 3-point game.
No timeout.
Syracuse will use that final timeout with 3.9 seconds remaining. Syracuse led by 7 with 1:05 remaining. McGusty made a couple of jumpers, and then it's been Jordan Miller down the stretch here for the Canes.
Just a missed block out on Syracuse, and Miller's been that thorn in the side all day, picking up that loose change, and no one bigger than that 2 points there for Miami. If there's anything left in Coach Boeheim's playbook, he's going to have to draw it up now. This is a tough, 4 seconds. You got a chance to take 2-3 dribbles. You got at least 3 dribbles you can take before taking the shot. So you don't have to do the Christian Laettner home run play. If Syracuse can get the ball inbounded up the floor, catch it around the 28-foot mark, get 2-3 dribbles, they're going to get a look, because Miami's not going to foul. They're going to have their hands back. We've seen shots go in before here in the Dome. And Miami's seen shots go in at the end with Charlie Moore knocking in a half quarter earlier in the year, but we got an exciting finish here.
2 meetings between these two teams this season. Both times, Miami has trailed by as many as 18. First meeting 2 months ago, got a 1-point win. Trying to storm back here on a 10-0 run the last 67 seconds.
All credit to Miami. They stayed in the game. They never quit. They kept fighting back. They didn't have to win. They had to be up a lot today. Just had to be up at the last second.
Swider puts it in to Jimmy Boeheim. A 3 for the tie. Short. And Miami wins it, storming back down the stretch at the Carrier Dome.
Syracuse got what they wanted. They got 3 dribbles from Jimmy Boeheim. Maybe not the best person, but he was the only guy that was going to get the ball for Syracuse. Unfortunate ending for Syracuse, but a lot of credit to Miami and everything that they did. They got it right there, 28-foot marks, 1, 2, 3. He got 4 dribbles off. He got a good look. And he's taking a lot of shots in this building too. I'm sure he wanted no more than that one to go in and send it into overtime.
Miami spoils Syracuse senior day. Despite the best efforts of Buddy Boeheim, the Orange falls below 500, and Miami gets its 14th win of the ACC.